What I do, I put, it's really Dove. I put about that whole container in the pot here to steam my, well, to simmer my elk head that we got in Saskatchewan. I use about liberal amount of baking soda, probably about at least half the box in all of this in, excuse me, in Dawn. And I put it in there as I was filling it. I stirred it around. It's important to keep the water no more than 185 degrees. It's just a simmer. It's not a boiling process. And so we're pretty close. I think I'm about 160 or so, 170. It's been windy. That's why I have all these crazy things around. Wind blocks, I call them. Anyways, let's see. 166. So getting pretty close. So we'll take the head, put it in there shortly, and simmer it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. This is really important about this head that I didn't do 2 years ago with another head that I brought back from South Dakota. I washed it in South Dakota. I was worried about being bothered for you know, transport, and we got the brains out of it and everything before we brought it back. But what I did was I wrapped it damp and I didn't let it dry in the sun. And that was a big mistake, because after a few days of traveling, this thing got ripe and it had, you know, it had maggots in it and stuff. So what I'm saying is that I left this one out to dry for a couple days while I was up in Canada, and it transported perfectly. And then I watched some videos on the internet, and one of the guys says if you do that, it sucks in the material as it dries. And to reverse the process, you need to soak the head for a couple days. So this head's been soaking for a couple days, and this is what it looks like. And it looks like everything's kind of like just like it's supposed to be. It, you know, it looks nice and clean. And now we're going to do this process, and I'm sure the stuff will come right off. But he said if you don't soak it, it's going to be really tough and almost impossible to pull pull all that meat that the bone sucked in the drying process. So it kind of reverses the drying process. I thought this is important to tell people about, so when they want to do this themselves. I've done it before. It's fairly easy. You save a bunch of money. And okay, about 185, 188 on the temperature. That's about good. I'm going to lower it because of the wind. I don't want it to get too hot. So I'm going to put the head in. I learned a pretty cool trick to tie it up. Hopefully it'll work like I saw it. So we get this ready to go in like this. Make sure you allow some room, because it's going to get it up a little bit. Look at that guy. It's kind of staying right in there by itself. Actually, for safety reasons, I'm just going to tie a rope right to the antlers. This is the trick that I saw somebody do on the internet. Just tie them up so they don't fall back like that, and you tie them to the handle. This is such a simple thing. I had it all hooked up to the ladder last time I did it, tied to the ladder. I was going to do it this time, but I saw this. I said, that's a cool idea. So I'm just doing what I saw on the internet and then tying it back, and this should keep it from falling out. There. And because it's such a windy day, we got that storm off the coast, I have to stay out here, keep a good eye on it, and because I don't want it to go to a boil. If it goes to a boil, it's not good. A lot of guys talk about boiling. So we're 185, 186. I lowered it, and I'm going to keep a good eye on it. My wife said I should have stirred it, and I forgot. So I'm going to stir it. Can I have the stick, honey? All right. Just in case it's hotter than I think, you know. Usually heat rises, so the top should be hotter, but you never know. All right. I got my wife's temperature gauge from the kitchen. Yeah, right on the money, 185. We'll see if I can't keep it that way. And the skull is almost submerged. It's a little sticking out, so I'm gonna, I kind of anticipated this, so I kept some solution out so I could kind of just put enough in to get it right over the head. There we go. That's pretty much submerged, the whole head. Yep. There. Now I'm gonna let it sit for like an hour and a half in the simmer, and I'm gonna watch it very closely. Hi, it's been boiling for pretty close to 2 hours now. I'm gonna take it out and pressure wash it. Oh boy, the meat almost boiled right off of it. Well, there we go. To get the pressure washer running it, we'll do this in time lapse, our first time lapse thing.
We hope.
Our first time lapse thing that we've ever done. So hopefully it'll work out. I looked down inside the cavity, and because I took the brains out, the brain matter out before I left Canada, before it dried, it all came out really good. There's really nothing to speak of to get out of there. It's all hollowed out. What I have to do now is bust out the earbuds, which is right here. So these are the elk's earbuds right here, and you got to knock these out. They're like held in there by cartilage. So from what I saw, you kind of do this, and oh, there they go. See that? They come right out. Now it leaves the cavity, it leaves you able to clean the cavity out completely and to remove anything in there. See, it's just all bone now. I'll take the rest of that off. Oh, here, I'll get my trusty little knife out and cut that right off. So in the second boil, that'll all boil right out of there nice and clean. So I'll flip it around to the other side. Oops, lost my hat. There we go. So here's the second one. See, there's cartilage and stuff there. Just kind of like, okay, I gotta go from this side. Let's see, it's starting to loosen up. There. It's kind of like you're collapsing the bone and pulling it right out. There, see? Nice and clean. And now you can get the skull. Actually, this side did work better than the last side. The other side. See, and this stuff is all not important. There we go. I only do this once every couple years. Takes a little relearning curve. So
This should take the rest of it out. Hey, there, see, I left some in. You want a good channel to clean everything out. There. Whole thing can come right out. There. Now that's nice and clean. No meat will be left in there. So that'll boil right out of there. I'm not going to fight with it. The 1 hour boil left will just allow me to blow that right out of there. Not boil, simmer. Very important, simmer. Okay, so the whole channel is clear. And the meat. So there's the earbud. So no, see, that just pushed a lot of the meat right in there. The washing will get it, and then all these holes here, you know, it'll blow that stuff out. Okay, no need to fight with that. It'll come out after the next boil. I just want to recheck the other side a little better. See, okay. Yeah, that's nice. It's all that will boil right out of there nice and wash out. But as you can see, there's not very much left. Look at the nostril cartilage just comes out, falls right out. There we go. Now there's just a little bit of nostril cartilage in there, and I like to leave in the hard stuff. I forgot what they call it, but and then after the next boil, I'll just reach in there and get the rest of that cartilage out. It's actually okay. Yeah. Okay. So I use a set of forceps, and I don't think you need to see all the stuff that has to come out of there, but the forceps really help you get the material out of there, and not demolish all the hard stuff that a lot of people like to leave. The nasal cavities, which are hard, and they add to the looks of it. So I'm just there, see, but the forceps are a must when doing this. They really help out a lot. They help you sneak around and not do damage. See, it hides all over the place, and if you leave it in there, your wife's not going to be happy when the mount starts smelling in the living room. All right, I think that's enough get the boil. See all the head cavities, everything's pretty much open. There's nothing anywhere in here, nothing back in here. So it's just to boil off the last of it on the back of the head, really. All right, so this is the second boil. Just taking it out. Oh, gotta be careful not to break the nose. Looks pretty darn clean. Yeah. Most of it's gonna need to be done from behind. That's where most of the meat was left. There we go. back the photo. Okay, you can come closer and see this cartilage here that was left in there after blasting should come out. I got it out of here. Now I'm going to just get it all out of here. You want to leave that in there. There we go. Just get that out of there. There. And that's pretty much good enough. The rest is hard cartilage. I'm not going to worry too much about it. That's a little mushy. There. And that. Crank that. There. And that's pretty much. The rest will dry and you won't even know what's left in there.
Hello everybody, I'm going to start to bleach this thing, but before I do that, I'm going to protect the bottom of the antlers with some aluminum foil first, wrapped around here best I can, trying to expose as much as I can of the white. There. It's just so no bleach will get up on the antlers themselves. So could use plastic. Some guys use plastic, you know, rubber stretch wrap and stuff. This seemed to be a little bit easier to do. So, and it's not like you're boiling and splattering. This technique that I'm going to use is just brush it on and put some bubble wrap over it, and then put some heat to it, approximately you know, a couple hours of heat. There, I'm going to put that up in there like that. I don't have to worry about any bleach getting up in there. And then I'll do this on the other side. And then I'm going to wrap it with bubble wrap and seal it all up after I put all my 50-50 combination of that Salon Care 40 with peroxide. You mix it 50-50. A lot of guys use tape, which is good. I mean, I've done it with tape and plastic wrap, and this looks to be a nice way to form around all those knobs. So I don't see any, so that looks pretty good. Probably run a little tape around it, make sure it stays together. Smell the bleach, but not that bad. Okay, so I just really got real liberal with it, and I'm noticing that if you don't get it covered fast, it wants to tend to dry up, and you don't want it to dry up. You want it to sit on there. So now I'm going to wrap it in bubble wrap. I did wash my gloves, so we didn't get any bleaching issues. Now we got a buddy heater. Get it cranked up. Gentleman used an electric heater to do his, which I thought the buddy heater would be just as well. And said he says you got to be really careful. Don't leave it unattended or too unattended. Keep a close eye on it. Of course, you don't want to burn your house down. There we go. All right, shortly the buddy heater will heat that fan, and just in case you don't know, this fan will start blowing hot air on that, and this really works good in my blind. I'm going to use one from each end, each side, and then I'm going to do 90 degrees. I'm going to move it so that it hits it from here in the back. I'll do 20 minutes this way, and half hour 20 minutes this way, and a half hour 20 minutes that way, and then I'll flip it. See how the fan's starting already? This thing works so good in my blind. I'm so glad I found this. Well, now we're almost about an hour into it, and it's pretty warm. It gets pretty warm, which is good. I turned it 90 degrees, and it's hot to the touch, but it's not melting. Well, this is kind of a little bit too hot, so I'll be backing that off. It's close to 20 minutes into this side, so I'll just back that off a little. That's pretty hot. I mean, I could hold my hand there, but it's hot. So it's been a couple hours. Did a little multitasking, warmed my hat, dried it up. Come in handy. Here's my scissors. Can't wait to see how this come out. Pretty warm in there. Must be what the ladies are like at the salon. Look at that baby steaming. Ooh. Pretty white. That's what we're trying for. That looks nice. 2 hours. Boy, did that get it white. Man, I'm happy with that. Take it outside. Give it a little wash. Because it'll rain. There we go. Pretty much done. About 4 hours or so, probably all total time, 4 or 5 hours maybe. But at least it didn't tie me up for days, or 24 hours messing with it. And the white I'm really satisfied with, so there we go. There we go. Ready to go on up on a mount. Oh, actually, I'm going to urethane it. I put a satin finish urethane on the whole thing. Brings a little sheen to it. And that's about it. Thank you, everybody. Bye.